Good morning, all you YouTubers out there. Farmer Dave here with Nelson Creek Farm. Filming this on my cell phone, so I'm sorry if it gets to bobbing around a little bit. I don't have stabilization on it like I do the GoPro. Anyway, we're out and about today, making a road trip first thing this morning over to my daughter's place. Get a little bit of stitching done on some new bibs for the old farmer. And yeah, give you a little bit of a view of what the area here in Southern Idaho is like, which pretty much is nothing. Yeah, until irrigation water came into the area, this whole area was nothing but a dry desert. Yeah. So anyway, we'll shoot a few video, a little bit of it as I'm going down the road here and kind of give you a view on what is here. Wintertime fog has set in here in the valley. It is about noon, and the sun's trying to peek through up there somewhere, but it's not being very successful. Speaking of irrigation and water on the area here, this thing is known as the center pivot. Yeah, it's a big sprinkler on wheels. Yeah, that silly thing makes, if you're ever flying or see aerial photographs, if you see round green patches in what would be fields, that's what makes them. They go round and round, or half circles, quarter circles, whatever shape they need them to go in a field. And those things can be actually quite long. They're usually electric motor driven on the towers, what they call them, towers. There's some more right here we're going by. The towers are the bits with the wheels. This one's kind of a long one. It's probably every bit of a quarter mile in length from its pivot point down here to the end of it, which is right there. Yeah, so without irrigation like that, this area would still be a desert. This kind of gives you an idea of some of what the area is like here in the Magic Valley. This is the only, one and only, that's real close to the house, overpass on what is State Highway 30. Yeah, don't worry about not being able to see anything out there, folks. There's nothing there other than this road. Yeah, there's feedlot here on the left, and if you could see it, wide open spaces over here with absolutely nothing. Idaho is a high mountain valley plateau. Very few trees other than what has been planted by people that live in the area. And yeah, just rolling hills in some spots, flat in the rest. This one is straight from Dr. Seuss himself. Will it rain? Will it snow? I live in Idaho, so I don't know. Ha ha ha. To go along with last week's video on the tires that I picked up for the Allis-Chalmers B, I also picked up an alternator bracket kit. Picked up two of them actually. One for the Allis-Chalmers B and one for the D14 Allis that's sitting in the barn yet. So yeah, these are a really nice kit, and figured for the money might as well get two of them while I was at it, save some freight. Now, just so you folks don't think I've gone completely gaga for orange tractors, I did do a little something for this very early 1939 Farmall A tractor, and I'll show you why and what I got for it. This lower half of the front bolster has been cracked and brazed up with brass. As you can see, it's been broken and cracked and whatnot. And if you come around the front of the tractor, it's even been broken right there. And upon closer inspection, I'm going to need a different front axle, because this one's been broken here at the knuckle joint and welded all up. Yeah, that's a real mess of welding. That looks like something I would do. Plus, it's been cracked under here and welded there. So what does that mean, Farmer Dave? Well, I'm going to have to make a trip over to my buddy Dale's place there at the Iron Mound Farm and see if he happens to have another front axle for a Farmall A. And my golly, if he's got a complete one and the price is right, I may just snag a complete one for parts for this one. Which leads me to the next thing. I purchased something, and now that I noticed that axle and just said I might need to buy a whole second tractor for parts, let me show you what I did come up with that got delivered today. I'd found this on eBay. I know I'm horrible about ordering on eBay, but I don't have a local source for some of these parts. Got this from, I think it's Davidson. Let me look here. Yeah, Davidson Tractor Repair and Parts. This is not a paid promotion for those folks. That just happens to be who I bought this from off of eBay. They had it listed as a Farmall B front bolster. Well, I have yet to see a Farmall B that came from the factory with an axle pin on it so the axle could tilt. B's either had a single front wheel or a narrow front. And if you wanted to make a B with a wide front, you need this part. So that must have been what they pulled it off of because they called it a B, but it's actually a Farmall A part. The part numbers matched. Well, let me rephrase that. The number matches here, but this is the B series. Yeah, the other original part is 6530DA. This is DB. Means it's a new and improved, heavier version or whatever of the original. Now, unless somebody is underneath the tractor looking at that, they'll never notice that B. And if I can find an A series, I'll put that back on there as long as it isn't broken up. And what you're looking at here is the bottom of it. The ears aren't broken. There's no cracks in this front yoke part. And flip it over here. Right side up. Yeah, let me hang on to the camera here with the other hand. Yeah, that's what it looks like right side up. And it's got the steering box that sits up here on top of that the shaft goes into from the steering wheel. And the cultivator bars all hook on down here. None of this casting is broken or in need of repair. So, yeah, that'll replace that on that Farmall A unless I come up with another complete unit and axle off of another A over at the Iron Mound Farm. Back when I was a kid, we all used to play a game called Spin the Bottle. And if the girl didn't want to kiss you, she had to give you a quarter. By the time I was 12, I'm sad to say I owned my own tractor. Well, that's going to wrap up today's little video on stuff I've had going on here at the farm today. Most of it wasn't farm related. I spent the day with my daughter and her grandkids, so that's always a good thing in my world. And besides, it's too darn cold out here right now to be doing any farm work here in Southern Idaho anyway. Everybody is shut down. They've been piling up compost out in the fields ready to spread it, but it's just too cold. Yeah, nobody can get out and get anything done. Anyway, that's going to wrap it up for today. Thank you for subscribing, and as always, if you haven't, doesn't take you anything money-wise, just click on that big red button thing down there that says subscribe on it below in the bottom right-hand corner there. And if you would, click the little bell icon right next to it and select the word all. That way you can get notified every time I put out another video. And hopefully, next summer, we're going to get to working on some of these tractors and get them running around the farm here. And in the meantime, this fall, we will be doing some implement repair. So stay tuned for that. And as always, I'm Farmer Dave. We'll catch up with you later. Y'all have a good one now. Bye-bye.